face a serious risk of losing the tower, because when tower started to rotate toward the south with this rate, nobody was able to evaluate if the tower will stop or not.
Desperate to stop the tower from leaning further, engineers quickly added another 230 tons of lead weight to the tower's base. The tower stopped moving, but instead of fewer weights, there were now more, and the tilt, instead of diminishing, was increasing. Nothing had gone according to plan.
This is a strange monument, and one that has too many doctors trying to fix it. The tower has most often been at risk of falling down not from what ails it, but due to the mistakes of its doctors who have been exaggerating with their cure. In effect, the tower has most often been in danger when there were external interventions.
All of Italy was outraged. After 5 years of studying the tower, with the most advanced technology available, somehow the problem was worse. Shortly after the deep freeze of 1995, all work on the tower stopped. The tower remained closed. No one in Pisa knew when, if ever, it would open again. It was a painful situation for a city that identified so completely with the monument.
It's the maximum. It's the emblem of the city. Because when we go around the world, when we say where we are from, that we are from Pisa, the first association is the tower.
The tower is a universal symbol for the citizens of Pisa. As a little girl, I used to always come here to the piazza, and slowly a passion began to grow within me as I became aware and began to understand the importance of the monument.
La torre era un polmone.
The tower was like a lung, something that we felt, not only because people once climbed on it, that makes it alive, but also because closing it brings a little economic damage.
Pisans from all walks of life felt the closing of the tower in their hearts, not to mention their pocketbooks.
It's the tower that attracts the tourist. As soon as tourists arrive, they see the tower and that's it. They don't see the other things. When the tower was open, there was a line. The people would climb on the tower. They would have time to eat. They would come to our restaurants. A lot of people would stop to have a cappuccino, and then they would go inside the tower. Now instead, since the tower is shut down, our work is a hit and run. Tourists arrive, they take some pictures, they do a little bit of shopping for some souvenirs, and then they run away.
With the tower closed, tourism fell by 20%. It was a frustrating situation for the people of Pisa. They depended on tourism, and tourism depends on the tower.
It is considered one of the most famous structures in the world. I believe that there cannot be a person on earth that does not know what the Tower of Pisa is.
Tourists come from Japan, from America, from Canada, from Australia. These are people that have never seen the tower before and that come here expressly to see the tower, not to see the city. For us, the tower is an artistic wealth, a priceless property.
There was great concern about the alterations being made to this priceless property. At Columbia University in New York, James Beck, a professor of art history, has founded ArtWatch, a non-profit watchdog organization dedicated to protecting artistic treasures. Beck advocates an open exchange of ideas to save the tower.
It's very bad for the preservation of the tower that they're so secretive. They put in a particular cure, and then that cure fails, and they put in another cure, but there's never discussion and careful explanation. If you believe that this is an object that belongs to the world, then you have to have all of the input that's possible.
Beck believed that the tower was not in imminent danger. There was time enough to debate the options openly.
The estimates are 35 to 70 years. Therefore, the rush to do these rather stupid interventions in some cases was totally unnecessary. Everybody wanted to get credit for saving the Tower of Pisa just because it was good publicity.
Whatever the objections of critics, by 1998 a new plan had been set in motion. And if it worked, the tower would be safe for hundreds of years. Italy's team of engineers felt confident that it had come up with a way to stabilize the tower. Their solution was a process called soil extraction.